Welcome, everyone, to the Music for Healing and Transition Program's annual meeting continuation, the graduation ceremony for our 2024 graduates. My name is Angela Brown, and I am a CMP and President of the Board of Directors for the year of 2024. You were just listening to Gabriella Maycook, one of our 2024 graduates. Thank you for sharing your beautiful music with us, Gabi. We anticipate to have with us tonight so many in support of our organization, our staff, teachers and advisors, fellow certified music practitioners, our 2024 graduating students and their families, and many of you who are donors or who support CMPs in their work at healthcare facilities. Welcome, and thank you so much for taking time to be with us tonight. Prior to joining you here, the board conducted the legally required annual business by approving the annual report and reviewing the bylaws. We welcomed new board member Cassandra Mason and Heidi Boyle, and we said farewell to our outgoing board member Chuck Beckman. Our additional board members are Martha Lewis, who is also a founding member of MHTP, Shanae Rayford, and James Patry. Elections for the coming year resulted in Angela Brown as president and Shanae Rayford as secretary. MHTP is the largest worldwide organization certifying musicians to provide live therapeutic music at the bedside. Our website, mhtp.org, has information and current research outlining the benefits of live therapeutic music at the bedside. Once our students have completed their modules of our regularly updated science-based curriculum and coursework, they are required to fulfill a 45-hour independent practicum with at least 20 hours in a hospital setting. For this year's 25 graduates, this equals a combined total of 1,125 hours of live therapeutic music provided for a minimum of 2,500 patients or nursing home residents. With the practicum requirement alone, our 1,100 plus graduates have provided a minimum of 49,500 hours of live therapeutic music for 110,000 patients at the very least. 110,000 patients and nursing home residents, through the training requirements of our program, have experienced pain relief, relaxation, comfort, memory care, or supportive sound as they leave this earthly life behind. Our graduates who find work in healthcare facilities continue to provide live therapeutic music where it makes a difference to patients, residents, visitors, staff, and family members. You are here tonight because you too understand or have experienced the power of live therapeutic music in some way. However, until you have either been the giver of live therapeutic music or the receiver of such a gift, it is so difficult to find words to describe the experience. As I was reaching out to my circle with an invite to tonight's graduation ceremony, I reconnected with a childhood friend who is now a physician. He shared his personal experience with live therapeutic music, and it is used here tonight with his permission and in his own words. In 2020, during the pandemic, I was diagnosed with leukemia. Gratefully, I learned it was a curable form, but I had to be transferred from one hospital to another. That 2.5-hour ambulance ride was the worst, most painful time I ever recall. So I am in a new hospital hurting. How do you get through the lonely hours before your wife is allowed in due to required COVID testing at that time? It was interesting to learn for myself how I would cope with the pain during that time. When they were doing some procedures that hurt, I would turn my head away and start singing hymns softly. One of the doctors, seeing this, asked for a harpist to come to my room. They couldn't come in because of the pandemic, but played from the doorway. The music that the harpist played was so comforting I had to cry. And it was my first opportunity to do so since my diagnosis. It was cathartic, and I was so grateful for it. Shortly after, I slipped into a nice sleep until my wife arrived. The power of live therapeutic music to create a healing environment for patients, residents, visitors, and staff in a healthcare setting is why MHTP was created 30 years ago. And it is also why we continue to promote this avenue to make our music matter most. Experiencing the power of live therapeutic music changes you as a musician. Last October, the board honored 3 CMPs whose lives were so impacted by their own personal experiences with live therapeutic music that they have given a combined 51 years of service to MHTP. These extraordinary women join past award recipients who have worked tirelessly to make live therapeutic music training a reality for more and more students, benefiting more and more people in healthcare settings. Debbie Hicks, CMP, PhD, served on the board of directors for over 18 years and completed the Herculean task of converting 400 pages of written notes to over 1,000 pages of standardized, consistently formatted curriculum. She served as curriculum reviewer for the next 10 years. Debbie also secured a $10,000 matching donation for the year-end Season of Light Candles campaign in 2020. Karen Peterson, CMP, past director and board president, served as webmaster and newsletter editor, along with 15 years on the research committee. Karen designed and built our website and encouraged the use of technology like Zoom in a way that prepared us to meet the needs of our students and CMPs during and after the COVID-19 pandemic. Karen leveraged the donation button on Facebook to pioneer the online busking we now know as Third Thursday with Therapeutic Music, as well as her personal Rocktober fundraiser to add variety to our fundraising efforts. And finally, our CEO, Carol J. Spears, CMP, MS, served as board president for 9 years of her 14-year board tenure. A Module 3 teacher since 2005, Carol became the program director in 2018. Then in 2020, stepped in as interim before being hired as CEO in 2021. Carol chaired the creation and implementation of our extensive continuing education program and served as curriculum reviewer for several years. During the COVID-19 pandemic, she worked with advisors and faculty to quickly and effectively transition the remaining on-site modules to Zoom. She also did the same with 3 successful biennial conferences and national enrichment days. MHTP owes much of its current success to these 3 women, so let's give them a round of applause. Now, I would like to turn the time over to our CEO, Carol Spears, for the next segment of tonight's event, our graduation. Carol?
Good evening, everyone, and I would like to echo what Angela already said about the welcome to everyone, give you greetings and gratitude to each of you for joining us this evening. And thank you, Gabriella, for your music. In 2025, MHTP has entered its 4th decade of training and certifying musicians to bring the healing elements of music and their own healing presence into healthcare facilities around the world. Tonight is our 4th combined virtual annual meeting and graduation ceremony, and it will be my pleasure to share a PowerPoint for both some of the brief highlights of 2024 that you can find in depth in the 2024 annual report, and then focus on honoring the 2024 graduates for their hard work and dedication. Everyone in the meeting except the speaker is muted. You will be able to unmute when Angela ends the meeting. And please remain on if you would like and talk to the graduates or one another. The chat function will remain open during the entire meeting. Feel free to comment either to the whole group or individuals at any time. And especially welcome our 2024 graduates during the ceremony. CMPs, this is important for you. In order to receive the CEU certificate from Mindy, please make sure your name is recognizable to her in your Zoom window. If it is not, write in the chat only to Mindy, not to the whole group, with your name. We are tonight giving witness to the 25 musicians who became CMPs in 2024. They held on to their goals to bring their compassionate hearts, musical skills, and the MHTP training, all working together, into healthcare in service to others. Some of these graduates entered at the beginning of or during the COVID-19 pandemic, facing many challenges for completing the program, but they persevered. In the PowerPoint slides, in chronological order of each graduate's graduation date, you will see specific information, some of which I will read as part of the official graduation process. For those new to how MHTP training works, to explain what some of the shared information about each of our graduates refers to, I will give now a brief background. You will see graduates' names and the date of their graduation, the student's instrument of certification, where they lived during their studies with MHTP, and their photograph, if they provided us with one. As students are accepted into MHTP, they are assigned an advisor. This is a CMP contracted with MHTP who is with them as a support and resource person throughout their studies. The advisor for each student is listed on their slide to recognize this essential role that advisors have. After completing their 80 hours of coursework in our live video conference classes and additional hours in homework activity, students must pass a comprehensive module exam, then embark in the hands-on part of their training, the independent practicum, which we abbreviate as IP. And you've already heard Angela's estimate of the significant number of hours that students engage in to complete their IP and the impact on patients, family, and staff. On their slides, you will see the cities in which each student did their independent practicum. Appearing also, if they received a scholarship, is the source of the scholarship. And finally, what is most exciting, we also include a quote from each graduate's final written summary of their experiences going through the MHTP training. Now, if you have ever attended a high school or university graduation, you likely heard the organizers pleading with you to not applaud until the last person has walked across the stage. But you are on Zoom. You can applaud as much as you like because you are muted. You can applaud with your hands, bring them up to the camera so people can see. Or you can use jazz hands. We use a lot of jazz hands in our classes to congratulate one another. Or try celebrating by using some of the fun icons in the Reactions tab at the bottom of your Zoom window. And also, please use the chat again, especially for our graduates. I will now start the PowerPoint that includes both the information, brief highlights from the annual report, but also our graduating PowerPoint. The cover you see here of the annual report, and it is available to anyone to read via the MHTP website, mhtp.org. You will find it under the Why MHTP tab. And it will be the last option in the drop-down box. I encourage you to read it. It's concise, but it does have a wealth of information. I'd like to draw your attention on this slide to our mission statement, which is the italicized paragraph under our title. We train and certify musicians to provide personalized live therapeutic music at the bedside to create a healing environment. MHTP creates an international community of therapeutic musicians. Currently, we have trained 1,112 certified music practitioners from across 19 different time zones. We celebrated our 30th anniversary in 2024, and tonight we will start with highlights from the biggest event of 2024, which was celebrated that 30th anniversary and more. And that was the MHTP 11th Biennial Conference. And you can see here the conference theme, Share the Vision, Shape the Future. And that, of course, celebrated our 30th anniversary. Out of the 37 plenary and panelist speakers, 15 were from outside of MHTP, which in itself was an important outcome of the conference. Not only did we gain invaluable perspectives from these speakers, but then we had the opportunity to share with them who we are and what we do. We invited many of MHTP's early leaders for various presentations. You see some of them here, including an historic tour of our 3 decades teaching and certifying musicians. We also featured a collaborative history of leaders from the National Standards Board for Therapeutic Musicians, which is the nonprofit that accredits training programs like ours for live therapeutic music, and of which MHTP is a founder. The conference also cast our collective vision into the future and the role that certified music practitioners can play in this very exciting and quickly evolving field, both of research and application of music as medicine. And that included hearing from other inspiring individuals and organizations, such as world-renowned musician and author Victor Wooten and music and neurobiology researcher Heidi Moss Erickson. These two were our 2 keynotes for the conference. We also heard from Jolene Johnson, co-director of the Sound Health Network, and Judy Simpson, Director of Government Relations for the American Music Therapy Association, and many others. 65 CMPs and MHTP students assisted as volunteers in various roles throughout the conference. This type of involvement helps to unify the MHTP community and highlights the diversity of individuals, instruments, backgrounds. 191 people attended throughout the weekend. People zoomed in from across our 19 time zones. They were not only CMPs and MHTP graduates, but also graduates from a variety of the other National Standards Board accredited training programs, healthcare professionals, and other musicians. Going on to other information that you can find in the annual report. If you are looking for your name on this page, they are alphabetical by first name. You can see that we received over $14,000 in 2024 from these donors. And tuition alone does not cover MHTP's operational expenses. Like every nonprofit, we rely partially on the love and support of our donors. We increased our number of donors from 2023 by 50 individuals, and each and every one is valued, and we appreciate you. In addition to the individual donors to MHTP, 4 students in 2024 received over $8,600 in scholarships from 3 nonprofits outside of MHTP that you can see here: Music in Medicine, Music Partners in Healthcare, and Strings of Mercy. 6 students also received over $3,000 in MHTP scholarships, which again, these were donations from you all from prior years. And that brings us to information that is not in the annual report, but we want to share it with you tonight. We are having a spring scholarship appeal, as we did last year also. It is live on the website now, but on April 1, we will officially announce, going into MHTP's 4th decade, $40 for the 4th decade. And April is the 4th month of the year, which is why we are starting it in April. Throughout April, that would amount $40 roughly to $1.40 a day. This is a way for we all to help musicians who need a little financial assistance to make a difference with their music. 100% of donations in the month of April goes to the scholarship fund. You can support the mission of MHTP any time of year through the website's orange donate button in the upper right corner of every page. Also easy, mhtp.org/donate. MHTP receives other types of donations. In 2024, you can see here we had over 493 hours of in-kind volunteer hours donated to MHTP by the groups that you can see listed. Those hours represent an estimate of $49,300 of in-kind professional support, which is invaluable to us. On this slide, I'd also like to direct your attention to the MHTP vision statement. We started talking initially with the mission statement, which is the guide to what we do as a nonprofit. The vision statement is more about what is the outcome? What is it that we do that we feel will make a difference in our world? Personalized live therapeutic music provided by a certified music practitioner is recognized as an essential service within the healthcare system. And again, like every nonprofit, MHTP relies on financial donations and this dedication from our volunteers and their desire to bring to fruition that vision statement. In 2024, we had 140 more volunteer hours, which translated into $14,000 more in in-kind support than in 2023. We are about to come to the last slide from the brief highlights from the annual report. The data in the list and in the pie chart illustrate the responses from the students who applied to MHTP in 2024 to a question on the application about how did you find out about the Music for Healing and Transition program. And you can see here on the pie chart by far the majority, the certified music practitioners continue to be the most influential impact for other musicians to not only discover, but also to be inspired to how they can make their music matter. The second most impactful source is internet search. But I do want to remind the CMPs that we do have an referral program. If you refer a student to MHTP, you will be awarded a free webinar to help you earn your CEUs. I hope you find the time to read about the other important progress that was made in 2024 from our committees, from our National Program Council, from the board, in other areas of the annual report. We are about to get into the graduation ceremony. One more very important slide. In some of the graduates' quotes, you will hear comments about the MHTP faculty. Each of the 5 modules has several teachers, all of whom are CMPs, with expertise in their modules' topics, who have gone through an extensive selection process and training to become MHTP faculty. We are extremely grateful to each person listed here for their dedication to the field of live therapeutic music, their untiring support of students, their grace, wisdom, humor in all that they do. Without them, we could not carry out the MHTP mission. It is now time to honor our graduates. Caitlin Ryan, certified in flute. Advisor, Susan French. MHTP has been instrumental in shaping my life's work. As a nurse and musician, my work will now be centered at the intersection of music and healing, fostering a healing presence rooted in both science and music. Congratulations, Caitlin. Steve Werner, handpan. Advisor, Harry Bayo. Signing up for MHTP was one of the best things I have done for myself for a long time. It has enabled me to marry my 2 passions of working with people and playing music. Congratulations, Steve. Catherine O'Connor, certified in harp. Advisor, Karen Stowe. I found the modules to cover topics that enriched my knowledge of service through music to people who are in such a vulnerable time in their lives with different forms of illness or undergoing medical treatment. Congratulations, Catherine. Jennifer Midkiff, harp. Advisor, Gloria Galante. From a staff member at an independent practicum site, Jen is both highly competent and highly compassionate. I was deeply impressed by the responses in the patients she played for. Congratulations, Jennifer. Michael J. Doherty Sr., guitar. Advisor, Keith Barnhart. Some time ago, I was thinking about using my guitar in a more useful way. It was then that I came across MHTP. I have enjoyed the journey so far and look forward to what is ahead. Michael, congratulations. Phil Levesque, guitar. Advisor, Keith Barnhart. I appreciate the science-rich curriculum from MHTP. It is balanced with the heart-based approach to actual involvement with patients. The science sure helps get the practice through the door. Congratulations, Phil. Jody Marshall, Hammer Dulcimer. Advisor, Harry Vale. The modules opened my eyes to the use of music as a tool that can complement medicine. And the practicum helped me see that aspect of music in action. Congratulations, Jody. Melissa S. Rice, certified in cello. Advisor, Stacy Salas. I have finally found deep meaning and purpose in my life through the MHTP training. Unlike all the other jobs and training I went through, the process of becoming a CMP is what fed my soul. Congratulations, Melissa. Julia Emmaheiser, cello and voice. Advisor, Stacy Salas. My advisor played a crucial role in my journey. Overall, I am proud to have finished the program and grateful for the opportunity it provided to contribute to a healing environment for patients. Congratulations, Julia. Gabriella Maycook, voice and guitar. Advisor, Mindy Kutcher. It was not until I discovered MHTP that I felt I had finally found a clear path. I felt I had found a way that I could learn to tune my heart and voice to be a healing presence through song. Gabriella is a recipient of the MHTP Louise Trotter Scholarship. Congratulations, Gabriella. Virginia A. McDaniel, voice. Advisor, Susan French. Most of all, I acknowledge the people I spent time with while learning to use my voice in a new way, not for performance, but for comfort, for support, and for healing. The 90+ IP visits with patients. Virginia, congratulations. Gabriel Ferguson, keyboard. Advisor, Sam Vandiver. While the other modules were critical for the honing of our therapeutic music skills, Module 4 provided essential knowledge dedicated to the business side of our profession, and therefore was the most irreplaceable module in my opinion. Gabriel, congratulations. David Singer, keyboard. Advisor, Rose Grace. I felt that just about everything taught in the modules has laid the much needed groundwork for me to become a successful therapeutic musician, as well as a healing presence to my patients. Congratulations, David. Keisha Bueller, keyboard and voice. Advisor, Rose Grace. I loved learning about heart-centered awareness and that it is the key to being a successful CMP. Thank you to MHTP for offering this amazing certification course. And a huge thank you to Music Partners in Healthcare for honoring me with a scholarship. Keisha, congratulations. Patricia Benison, Hammer Dulcimer, Advisor Christine Johnson. I liked the idea of having live classes because I could hear questions and perspectives from other students, listen to how they played or sang, and learn with and from them. For me, this type of learning environment is far superior to a course of independent study. Patricia, congratulations. Tracy Reynolds, certified in voice. Advisor Donna Hangen. My experience during my studies with MHTP has been nothing short of amazing. The support, nurturing, and care I received throughout were truly exceptional. My studies were more impactful than words can express. Congratulations, Tracy. Sophie Chang, cello. Advisor, Mindy Kutcher. I could not do this work without the wisdom imparted from the CMPs that taught the modules and my advisor. Each gave clear instruction, helpful anecdotes, and welcomed curiosity and conversation around the material. Congratulations, Sophie. Maria Dimitati, keyboard, who is also MHTP's 1,100th graduate that we celebrated in 2024. Advisor, Lynn Peterson. All the teachers, staff, and especially my advisor have been so supportive. They gave me inspiration and confidence to believe that I could be part of the MHTP community. Maria received an MHTP scholarship. Congratulations, Maria. Carrie Larrabee, keyboard and voice. Advisor, Martha Lewis. The MHTP program is extremely thorough and does a wonderful job of providing caring and insightful support for each student. I am excited to see where this journey takes me now that I am a CMP. Congratulations, Carrie. Ramona Glasgow, certified in harp. Advisor, Mary Suparak. Each instructor was excellent, so my hat is off to all of you for your dedication not only to the MHTP program, but also to the community we serve. Your insight and experience in the field have been invaluable. Ramona, congratulations. Emily Peterson, guitar and voice and violin. Advisor, Lynn Peterson. I consider the MHTP program life-changing for me. I am excited for the life and career it has opened for me. I am proud to be putting into action all that I have learned in this program. Congratulations, Emily. Mary Lancelotti Botskill, ukulele and voice. Advisor Donna Hangen. MHTP has shown me a sense of purpose I had not known before and has given me the opportunity to express myself in ways I never imagined possible. Playing music for different patient conditions has profoundly impacted my life on multiple levels. Congratulations, Mary. James Edwards Kenyon, bassoon. Advisor, Donna Hangen. I have long wished to find a way of getting out of this sheet music and play from the heart. MHTP has put me in front of other musicians from different backgrounds and taught theory, modes, and improvisation in ways my first two degree programs never taught me. Congratulations, James. Douglas Ostgard, flute. Advisor, Keith Barnhart. I have been a musician all my life and had been trying for many years to find a new direction in music that centers on service, not on traditional performance. I decided to try MHTP because its goals and instruction uniquely fulfill that criteria. Congratulations, Douglas. Anne Marie Sayre, flute and Native American style flute. Advisor, Tess Miller. I am filled with gratitude for all the amazing people who have tirelessly worked through the past 3 decades to make MHTP the superb program and organization it is today. Anne Marie, congratulations. And with that, congratulations to our entire class of 2024, also known as MHTP's 30th anniversary graduates. Thank you all. Excellent job, all of the graduates. Thank you for your perseverance and your final summary words that we shared. Many of you are already, and others will be, out in the world doing the work of a CMP. Know that you are a profound blessing to patients and to healthcare. You change and make a difference in people's lives every day. You are a blessing to your patients. We are proud to be your colleagues and look forward with gratitude to hearing the stories about all that you are doing to bring wholeness, healing, and peace to others. Feel free to email me any HIPAA protected stories of your experience. They absolutely make my day. I am pleased in a moment to turn our meeting back to Angela for its conclusion. Remember, everyone, you can unmute when the meeting is over and can then remain talking with others if you would like.
Thank you, Carol, for that beautifully curated graduation presentation. Congratulations to our 25 newest graduates. You now join a family of trained and certified musicians who know and embrace the power of music to intentionally make a difference for our most vulnerable people in a variety of healthcare settings. Tonight, you've heard what we do, how we do it, and why we do it. But as we close, I want to remind you of who. Who are the people who benefit most from what we do as CMPs with our training from MHTP? It is the patient who says, "I forgot about my pain while you were playing." It is the nursing home resident who says, "Your music gives me courage," and then asks which way to bingo. It is the staff member who says, "I felt the weight of the day lifted from my shoulders. Thank you." It is the daughter whose mom is on comfort care who whispers, "That is the most beautiful thing anyone has ever done for me." It is the wife who has lost the ability to converse, but who recognizes every song and sings them to her husband. We are honored to make our music matter through MHTP. And we will now consider our annual meeting of 2024 to be adjourned. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night. Feel free to stay and chat. Thank you.